are now listening to Lauer Road Radio.
Hey, welcome one and all to the #1 podcast, winter, spring, and fall. Talking sports for the thrill of it all. Hey, talking life, but we're killing it all. Jason and Dan with the master plan. These are dangerous men with the mic in the hand. Ha, bonafide winners everywhere that we go. You're a part of the team.
Lauer Radio.
Dad light, thug light, bright lights in sight. All right. What? Dad light, thug light, bright lights in sight. All right. Yeah. Dad light, thug light, bright lights in sight. All right. What? Bonafide winners everywhere that we go. You're a part of the team.
Lauer Radio.
Let's get it. What?
At Tanagra, When the Walls Fell, this is Dan Owings coming at you another time for Lauer Road Radio with my co-host, as always, Jason. How you doing today?
Good. We've got a great show planned.
Yes.
For like 3 or 4 weeks from now.
Mm-hmm.
Great show planned.
Mm-hmm.
Number 100 is approaching.
Well, isn't number 100 next week?
Is it?
Yeah, this is 99.
Okay, so this might be a letdown.
Okay.
Next week will be awesome.
Yes. Well, I mean, we got to bring it for episode, 100.
Well, it's actually episode like 800.
We've had more than 100 episodes, but since we started counting them and stopped going back and recounting them, I think at one point we tried to do like seasons, like 1.1 or something.
And the seasons didn't mean anything. It's just whenever we felt like changing them
at some point we were up to like season 7 or 8. And
I think 9.
Yeah, were we?
I think we're at 9.1,
I think
9.2.
anytime there was a good episode, we're like, let's make this the first one of the next season.
Yeah.
So we'd even have a month where we'd have 3 seasons within 1 month, and then we'd stick on one season for maybe 6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
If we liked it. If we
There's
were
no
in a
rhyme
groove.
or reason.
No rhyme.
For a long time.
Or reason.
Yeah.
If we had a rhyme, just a rhyme, that would have been enough.
Or a reason.
But there was no rhyme or reason.
Is that a phrase? Am I saying that right?
It is, but now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rhyme and reason. I guess it probably has to do with poetry. Like poetry should have at least
a rhyme
or a reason.
Yeah.
Right?
Because not all poetry rhymes.
Not all poetry rhymes.
The poetry that doesn't rhyme sucks. I'm just going to say it. Someone's like, oh, I have a poem to read, and none of it rhymes. I'm like, that wasn't a poem. That was just words. It was sentences.
Well,
feels to me like King David might disagree with you, but, I don't know. What do I know about it?
But did King David rhyme in Hebrew?
No.
Does it rhyme in Hebrew?
No.
You don't speak Hebrew. How do you know?
Because I know. It doesn't rhyme.
Do you speak Hebrew?
I've looked into it, okay?
You've Googled, does King David's poetry rhyme in Hebrew?
Poetry is not all rhyming, and biblical poetry is called parallelism, mostly. That does not rhyme.
It doesn't rhyme in English.
It doesn't rhyme in Jewish either.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
You know that?
Yes, I know it.
How do
there
you know
are
this?
some times where in Hebrew it has like a turn of phrase that has like a little rhyme or rhythm to it, bro.
Yeah.
Right? But like when the Bible says in the beginning, right? And when it says that there was nothing, right?
Yeah.
That phrase.
Yeah.
That phrase in Hebrew is tohu vavohu, which is a kind of a poetic kind of it means wild in ways, but tohu vavohu, it has like a kind of a rhyming element to it. But biblical poetry is not.
I feel like Eminem could rhyme Hebrew.
Sure. I'm a big fan.
According to the internet, Hebrew poetry probably did not rhyme very frequently. It wasn't something that they tried to do.
Never.
But they repeated sounds and repeated words.
Yes.
So more like alliteration.
I said it
I like a
earlier.
good
It's called
alliteration.
parallelism.
Basically what you
I
just
could
said.
talk about it, but I don't think people come.
Well, you've already talked about it.
Well, you're the one that said
Because
rhyme or reason.
No, I
you
just
brought
said
it up.
Next week,
Next
episode
week.
100.
Yeah.
We've got a great episode planned.
It's going to be a banger.
Knock your socks off.
Yeah. I mean, you're just going to want to put it on repeat, honestly.
I don't know. Do you know what we're going to do?
No. But it's going to be a good one.
It's going to be the best 100th episode that we've ever done.
So I don't know how you're doing, but I am. If I was not standing next to my wife at a couple times today, I would have collapsed. That's how bad I am right now, because I played basketball on Tuesday night. There's this church basketball league, and the guys are like, "You should play," and I was like, "Okay."
And you're like, "I'm fat."
And I go, I like, you see, but you see this, right? Like, so anyway, so I played, and most of the guys that I played against were half my age, and when I was 20,
And half your weight.
I would have. Yeah, when I was 20, I'd have been fine. I could have run all around. I could have owned some of these guys. Absolutely. But today, the only thing I have going for me is I do walk anywhere from 5 to 6 miles almost every day without fail. So I've got something from that. But I played 2 games. It was 2 games in a row, 15-minute halves with like a 5-minute halftime, and we had no substitutes.
Oh.
And you just whatever. You kind of
point guard it to slow everything down?
Oh, there was a couple times where I was playing Four Corners, North Carolina. I was just like dribbling in the back, like, you're gonna have to come to me. But the problem was the team that we played against the second time. They were high energy, but they weren't basketball players.
Right.
So they were actually soccer players. So they're very high energy, very athletic. But they don't understand the unwritten rules of basketball that you don't just press the entire time. You don't do that, And so I would try to bring it back, and they would like collapse. I'm like, guys, stop it. You know what I mean? Like, this is not gonna work out for you, And so we beat them.
Yeah.
Mostly because they were too aggressive on defense, mostly.
Right.
But I was like, just let me be, man. Like, this is what you
Have
do.
you guys ever heard of the zone?
You know how they stand and they go like this and they do all that pointing? Like, you're not giving me any time to do any of that.
How can I point if you're pressing?
Yeah. Just need to back off a little bit. So I played, and after the game, I was like, this was tough. This was a lot. And I was very tired. I was one of the guys I was playing against that's not a basketball player, but he's in better shape than I am, is Tom Stimson, mutual friend.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, why are you so wet? I was like, I'm sweating, man. That is all natural.
Yeah.
Very sweaty.
Yeah.
And so I was backing him down. I was doing that thing, like just kind of, and he's like, oh, gosh.
If it was shirts and squints.
Shirts and squins. No, I'll play shirts and squins all day.
If it was shirts and skins.
Yeah, listen.
You would want to be a skin.
And
You'd slide
that
all
would
over the
give me
place.
advantage, and I could just wiggle through there, But I mean, at one point, one of the kids, got the ball. He's like, "Why is the ball wet?" I was like, "That's me."
You're welcome.
It brushed up against me, my
when-
midriff.
When I was younger, I was always embarrassed to play shirts and skins because I'm fat, and I always have been. And then as I got older, I realized it is a competitive advantage if I don't have a shirt on, because no one wants me to back them down.
Listen.
I get free looks at the basket all the time. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah. So I literally, so next day, Wednesday, I was pretty sore all day. Today, it hit a different sore.
Yeah.
At which there were literally a couple times where we were walking in the parking lot outside of Big Lots, and if Erica wasn't next to me, my muscles just stopped for a second. I just grabbed onto her. She's like, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, I'm really sore.
You're going to have to go get one of those electric scooters.
Yeah, so and just do that like backup thing. You know what I mean? You're what was the one episode?
I don't know.
Where we said, "Excuse me." Is that what it was?
Um,
What was the person saying?
Oopsie.
Oopsie. Oh, and just bumping in. Oopsie. Oopsie. Oopsie.
Would you get an electric scooter? How bad would you have to be before you got?
I wouldn't go shopping. I just wouldn't go into a store.
Okay, let's.
I would crawl. I would crawl before I would use an electric
Let's
scooter.
pretend like you're 75 years old. You don't
Okay.
get around so well. Are you using one?
No.
No.
No,
Never.
unless I have a big cast on my foot or something. And then everyone can be like, that guy, he's got a real thing going on, There's no way. There's no way.
You need just like one of those air boots that you can snap on.
Just
where it feels like,
Hey, guys, look at this. What am I going to do?
look, it's in a boot.
Yeah. The other problem is my wife and I are going backpacking Sunday night and Monday all day, and Monday night is going to camp out again. And it's not just, we're not just going camping, we're going backpacking, we're hiking.
Yeah.
And if my muscles don't recover by then, by Sunday afternoon, I'm in big trouble, because I don't know if I can put a backpack on and go for 6 or 7 miles at a time. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not optimistic, but we're gonna do it because we put it on the schedule, and I bought a pair of hiking pants. So
You gonna pants it?
yes,
It's 100 degrees out.
Yeah, no, you had to wear pants. Well, last year, this is the same trail I went on when I talked about it last year when we
Yeah, they
ran
did
out of
bring
water.
water. Yeah.
Well, one of those boys, he said, "I want to wear shorts." And I was like, "I don't think you should wear shorts, man. Like, you're not going to be happy about that." And he's like, "No, I want to wear shorts." And by the end of the the 18-mile loop, his legs were like hamburger, because
Is this trail not?
Well, there are parts of the trail that you got to really work through some stuff. It's not a wide open trail.
Okay.
Yeah, some parts of it are, but many parts are not.
Yeah.
And so, I need pants. So
Okay.
I got hiking pants today. No big deal. Whatever.
Not hiked up.
That's different. No. Mm-hmm.
You also have some of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm going on this hike. Hopefully I'll be back for the podcast next week. I hope. If I'm not back by next Thursday night, I might be dead in a ravine somewhere. So
do you have a way to signal like a flare
thoughts
gun?
and prayers? No, I've got I got a way to make coffee.
Okay. That's fine. Just keep that close to you.
So yeah, no, because if I'm dying, I'll be like, at least I can enjoy one more brew.
He takes all
You're
his
like French press and
all his pretentious
dying.
coffee making stuff. He's got a milk frother.
And I'm almost going, yeah. So anyway, I don't feel good.
That's the heavy cream.
It is hard for me to stand up. Like, it really hard for me to stand up. My muscles are, well, I'm not, I ain't as young as I once was. I got a few years on me now. Yeah, that's me and Toby.
Okay. So, Teddy brings up random things.
Sure.
Right? And anytime he brings one up, I have to type it down because he brings something up almost once a day.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing he brought up the other day, and I thought it was conceivable, he said, I wonder if someone could take a baseball and throw it from the moon to the earth.
That is not a bad question.
It is not a bad question.
Now, there are two elements to this question.
Right.
One,
First of all, we don't know anything about science.
no.
So the answer here is not scientifically driven.
Secondly,
Yeah.
we don't know if the Earth is flat or round, or if the moon goes around the Earth, or if there's
There's a lot of variables.
There's very little we know about
Yeah.
space and time and those. We know a bit about baseball though,
Yes.
so that we have that on our side.
Well, growing up, there's an old schoolhouse outside of the house that we grew up at.
sure.
And you and I would take the baseball and throw it over the schoolhouse.
Play catch over the schoolhouse. So you just have to stand there and wait. And when the ball appeared, then you'd catch it and you'd throw it back. It was a lot of fun. It was good practice.
Great practice for pop outs because you got to
find it.
you got to find it in the sky and
Yeah.
catch it. Yeah. And so I mean that was a pretty strenuous throw to throw it over the schoolhouse.
Yeah. So there's two elements to this, I think, that we need to answer. The first one that we should get out of the way is
Flat or round.
Then there's three.
Let's assume the traditional viewpoint
yeah.
that the earth is round.
Yeah, let's just drink that Kool-Aid, okay, and believe that the earth is round.
And the moon is going around the earth.
Yes. Okay.
And let's believe the fact that the gravity...
believe the fact.
Well, we're going to try to believe the
We're going to
fact
believe the theory. Let's
theory.
call it a theory.
Let's
It's
believe
a
the
strong theory.
that the moon's gravity is less than the earth.
Okay. Seems ridiculous. Next, you're going to tell me the moon's not made out of cheese.
Nobody knows because nobody's ever been there.
Exactly.
Do you want the internet answer?
Well, no, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
So
Don't you know how this works? Have you ever seen the show?
So we're gonna
No.
go with NASA's propaganda as far as the structure of the universe.
Yes.
Okay. So we got that out of the way. Secondly,
Stephen Hawking has something to say about that.
yeah, he does. I don't know. I can't do a Stephen Hawking. I can't.
Can't imitate.
How
a
does he
computer.
do? I don't know. I'd have to work on that.
Yeah.
I've never tried to do a Stephen Hawking impression. I mean, I could do a Stephen
He's never-
Hawking impression of him. It would just be him. It would just be me not doing
I was
anything.
going to say Stephen
you know?
Hawking's never done a Stephen Hawking impression.
No. Don't you think you'd pick a better voice than that one? With the technology.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a time where
Siri
it couldn't
talks
be
better than-
Siri talks way better than Stephen Hawking's person.
Yeah.
You think he'd pick somebody? You think he probably has enough money?
Ted Williams.
Ted Williams, or he's got James Earl Jones money, right?
Oh.
He could call James Earl Jones and be like, "Listen, I want you to be the
Yeah.
voice of
Me.
Yeah, and just have him say just sit in a studio and have him say every conceivable word that Stephen Hawking might say.
I don't know how they record. Well, it's probably artificial intelligence at this point, but wouldn't you record syllables?
Sounds.
Yeah, sounds.
Yes. Yeah.
You just piece it together.
Arriba! I think with those three sounds, you can make any word. There's just the way that you combine
probably
them.
automatopoeia. That's a word that you could
The
break.
brown fox jumped over the red door. Whatever that phrase is.
The
lazy brown fox jumped. I don't know. It wasn't over because we've already used an L. So my question is it scientifically possible, right? Like that an object could be propelled from the moon to
escape moon's gravity.
Can it escape moon's gravity?
Well, a shuttle does.
Right.
If you believe that we landed on the moon, we got off of the moon. So Earth's gravity is greater than the moon. So I would imagine that once the baseball got past the moon,
the question is,
then it would just gravitate towards Earth.
You think so? You think Earth would pull it in?
I think if you got, I think if you threw it in that direction,
just anywhere in the direction of it.
I think the gravity.
You think that gravity would start to pull in the baseball?
I think it would.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I guess I don't know. That's the first question. To me, is it
could you escape the moon's atmosphere? That's
the first question. And then secondly is it you're hitting a moving target or you're moving, right? Just because you throw it here now, you're going to be in a different space. So
okay, so listen.
I mean, maybe the best thing if the Earth was there
to throw ahead.
Maybe throw it ahead, like you're leading in basketball.
Well, the moon, the surface of the moon always faces the Earth. The moon doesn't rotate.
That's once again NASA propaganda, but we're going to go with that the moon does not rotate.
The moon does not rotate, so it's always facing Earth.
There is a dark side of the moon, just like Pink Floyd said.
Yes. So I think, you're always looking right at it.
That's where the lizard people live, is on the dark side of the moon, right? Because we can't see that.
I thought they lived in the White House.
Oh,
yeah. Those are the reptilians.
We said we weren't going to get political.
I just wanted to do it.
We got booted off of Spotify for saying things like that.
Yeah.
your episode.
Yeah. So it's always facing Earth. I think if you just could get it past the moon's gravitational pull, I think it would pull towards the Earth.
The Earth would just pull it in.
I think it would.
Jesse?
So internet says.
So officially, yes or no?
I'm going to say the answer, could a person stand on the moon and throw a baseball and hit the Earth? I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say yes.
So not standing on the moon. The moon does still have a gravitational pull, which you would have to throw the ball at like 5,000 miles per hour to get past that gravitational pull. But if you threw it outside of the moon's gravitational pull...
If you were on like a space station.
If you were, and you threw a ball towards the Earth, it would continue in a straight trajectory at the exact same speed that you threw it until it came into the Earth's gravitational pull, and then it would fall, but it would then disintegrate before it hit the Earth.
Well, sure, that's obvious.
So from the moon.
So unless you can throw a baseball 5,000 miles an hour,
but if the gravitational is less, there's no air resistance. You probably could throw it a little bit harder.
Maybe a little bit harder, but let's say probably not 5,000 miles an hour.
Okay, so I think
everything goes slower on the moon, right?
Well, that's
right? Isn't that how that
Dan
works?
looked like running at basketball.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Everything, I feel like if you're throwing on the moon, it's like...
Well, I think part of that's in there in a bulky spacesuit.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think we need to go back on the moon with less bulky spacesuits and see how that goes.
Yeah.
I think we might have more fun up there.
So the answer is it's plausible.
No, it's not.
If this is Mythbusters, it would be plausible.
No, I think Mythbusters would say, what are they? Busted. Yeah.
It's not busted.
No, unless you can throw a ball 5,000 miles an hour.
Okay, listen. The moon's gravity is 1/6.
Maybe if you had a T-shirt cannon.
It's one. So a T-shirt cannon that shoots 5,000 miles an hour.
That'd be awesome.
Would be awesome.
Or they make those potato guns, or I'd like to get a balloon launcher on the moon. See what that was like.
Yeah. I think, you know what? I think this summer let's make a potato gun.
That would be fun.
It's not hard.
Potato
it's just
guns are
PVC
fun.
pipe in a You drill a hole.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
And then it's just air pressure, build it up, let
Yeah.
it go, boom, potato's gone. You could kill somebody with a potato gun.
We should do it.
Kill somebody with a potato gun?
A potato gun.
It's not wrong to kill people.
On accident.
Well, and sometimes it's not even wrong to kill people on purpose. If they're bad people and you're in a war situation.
Yeah. Or if you're the guy that pulls the lever that drops the thing that the guy goes hanging.
Yeah.
So Teddy wants to know if you could throw a baseball from the moon to the earth, and you're saying
sorry.
no.
Oh, I'm not saying no. The fact that one could not throw a baseball 5,000 miles an hour says no.
Teddy watches the show, so Teddy, it's highly unlikely.
It's a no.
Apparently, that's the decision we've come to.
Okay.
What do you got? I got more stuff.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Well, okay. I mean,
I thought that was my first thing.
I was expecting something else for tonight's show, so I did not do as much prep as I normally do. But I got a couple things in the holster.
I've got things.
I got a question for you. Turning on a light.
Yes.
Okay, you ready for this? If there's a light switch and you need to walk in the room, like there is in this fine establishment, you just flip the light switch up when you walk in, right?
Yes.
That's what you do. You flip it up, you flip it down. Now, what happens in that situation? What do you do if there's 3 light switches next to one another? Okay? Do you go flip, flip, flip? Or do you put your finger under all 3 switches and flip them up all one?
Am I aware of the room? Is this a mystery room?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because, like, when you walk into our house, the front door on the right, there are 3 switches right there. One is the outside light.
Sure.
One is the what Teddy calls the drinking room.
The narthex.
The narthex. That's what I like to call it. And then the third one is the upstairs light.
Right.
Hallway.
You don't necessarily want all those lights on when you walk in.
That's right. So I know which one's which, so I flip the appropriate light switch.
Right. Well, let's say it's
it's
a
a-
mystery room.
Okay, mystery room. I think I hit all 3 at once.
You like to do all 3 at
all
once.
3 at once.
It's which okay. All right. Which do you think is more satisfying? To go click 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 or all 3 at once? Because for me, there's a satisfying click click click. I kind of like the rhythm of
see,
it.
a mystery room, you're kind of, what's doing what?
Huh?
Huh?
Ah!
And if you do all 3 and someone starts screaming, then you're
Yeah.
hitting them down one at a time.
Right. Yeah.
To try to figure out when do they stop screaming.
Yeah. What I don't like is sometimes when you have 2 switches that control the same thing.
The
and then-
three-way switch.
And then sometimes you'll have the 4 switches or whatever.
And one's up.
But everything's off.
Yeah.
And then
don't
you got to
like
go to the
that.
other side and flip it in a
Are
way.
you
that-
the type of guy that needs to have them make sure they're both down?
I like it. I mean, I'm not an Adrian Monk completely, but I'd prefer it.
Yeah, doesn't bother me. We have one of those switches in our house. So the upstairs light in the hallway, there's an upstairs switch and a downstairs switch for it. I don't ever care.
Yeah.
But I could see some people driving them
I got a
crazy.
2-way switch. I don't understand electricity, but I got a 2-way at all. I got a 2-way switch in my house. Whoever did the wiring, where the switch that's by the door, it does turn it off or on. But then the other switch that's like kind of in our hallway area controls the same lights.
Yeah.
But when the switch by the door is up, okay, then the switch in the hallway, if you turn it up, it like flashes off and then comes back on. And if you turn it down, it flashes off and comes back on. So up and down are both on.
Okay.
But you can rotate it and then hold it just in the middle and then and get it to rest in the middle and it will be off. And sometimes I don't want to walk all the way to the door. It's like nighttime, I'm tired. And so I just which then sometimes if you didn't get it right later, it'll just like click on, be like, what the? So I don't know what is like happening there.
So if the switch by the door is off, what does that switch do?
Then that switch controls it on off. Okay.
Okay, yeah. You might want to get that looked at.
So far, everything seems to be working fine for me. So, but I don't understand. I once changed switches out in my old house, and a couple of them were 2-way switches, and I never did it right. And it was like it never worked right. It was just like, but I was the only one that knew like the crazy
The series combos.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you have to flush the toilet while the water's running in the kitchen, and then you flip that light while somebody's right on the other light, and you both flip it at the same time.
Right. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Click.
Yeah. And there cannot be a woman in the house menstruating while it's happening. So any of those things, all of those things have to be, the way that it is.
Yeah.
And I was the only one that knew the code. And I don't know what I did wrong. I followed the instructions, but it never worked right.
You've switched out ceiling fans.
Not really.
Really?
I mean,
you've never done
I've
one?
switched out ceiling lights
What
and stuff.
Ceiling lights?
Yeah, I've done that.
Are you confident enough just the wall switch shutting it off, or do you hit the fuse?
Oh, I hit the fuse. No, I'm not confident.
Oh. I'm pretty confident. Jesse's not going to step over.
Jesse's such a child.
He decided to bring in a ginormous wheelie chair. Like an office chair. I don't even know where he got it from. And it's huge. And he's just wheeling back and forth.
It's a big chair. And he's just kind of moving it back and forth. And then stuff. He does the thing that a kid does, which is when something breaks or falls and it happens, and then everybody looks at him and he looks up at them. And he's like,
the big eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm confident with the wall switch changing out the fixture.
No, I'm not. No.
I tape it down. I make sure because no kid comes by and flips it.
I think for me, it goes back to my complete lack of understanding of electricity. Because I'm like, I don't know if that actually, I don't know how that works. Does that stop me from getting shocked?
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
It does.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, I'm not an electrician either,
I always find the breaker, and because I don't even understand that, I just turn off every breaker in the house.
I always just find it a little bit more exciting.
That's exciting to turn off all the breakers. Have you done that one before?
Yeah.
Click, 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 click. That's fun.
And those are hard clicks too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a really satisfying click.
Chunk.
I love a satisfying click.
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore of satisfying clicks.
Like a mouse click?
Sure, I like a mouse click.
A good mouse click. Now, listen, not the new mouse.
No, that's messed up.
An old school mouse.
It has like a real action to it.
When you lift it up, it doesn't have a laser, it has a ball.
A ball, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that mouse click.
So that mouse click, I think the click
a fuse
of
box.
a fuse box.
Yeah.
Pen.
Oh, a pen click.
Yeah, that's
pretty
a good one.
satisfying.
That is a good one.
And what about like Gene Button Snap?
This is a snap, not a click. You think that's a? I think that's a snap.
That's a snap. That's not a click. I need one more click. Harrison, do you have a click?
Like an animal that clicks? I don't know.
A clicking animal.
Don't some African speaking clicks?
That is true.
Are those clicks?
Yeah, those are clicks.
Okay.
That's the fourth.
So the African Bushman.
Yes.
And a pen. And fuse box. And a mouse.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
That's a Mount Rushmore clicks right there. I went to Cedar Point this past weekend.
Cedar Point. Do they still do that?
I don't know. I don't do the rides.
Okay.
And, I'm sure they do. They've done the same line for 40 years. So, one of my favorite things to do is when I see 3 or 4 people taking a picture, and one of them from the group is taking that picture.
You like to be that guy.
I like to be that guy.
You do like to be that guy.
I like to be that guy.
Yeah.
Say, would you like me to take the picture with all of you?
Yeah.
And they do.
And then you reverse the camera and just take a picture of yourself.
I haven't done that recently. I did that last year.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy getting and framing it up perfect.
Yeah.
And
how many pictures you take in that instance?
Oh, like 7 or 8.
Click, 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 click,
Yeah,
click,
a
click.
lot.
Yeah.
Because on the phones, you just hold it and it takes like...
It's important.
I don't do that.
It's important for you.
Yeah.
What's important? Now tell me if I'm wrong, but I think I got you pegged.
Yeah.
I think it's important for you that you have that interaction with the family.
Yes.
And they feel good about that. And like, oh, that was nice. And then in your mind, there's tomorrow. They've all, went home, they fell asleep, and they're looking through their pictures, and they're like, man, that guy takes a great picture. Hey, Thelma, come over here. Look at this picture that this guy took, know? And they just talking about, and the years from now, they're talking about that guy that took that picture
that's
at
the picture
Cedar Point.
that they have printed off, and it's framed in their house.
And they always talk about, man, that guy.
We
took pictures all day. They weren't that good. This guy, that's important to you, isn't it?
It is.
You play that scenario out in your head
all day. I'll take one picture knowing that someday they'll be talking about it.
You just changed a life.
I did. Yeah. No, it's one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
And I know it's like Shelby hates that. That's not she would
what you do there.
Not in a million years would she do that.
Yeah.
You would not do that.
You know what? I have done that. I do that.
Do you?
Yeah.
But do you have the same?
I said doo-doo.
I know.
Do you have the same scenario play through your head?
See, I'm too much of a child. I can't be trusted.
Yeah.
I'm one. I'll take a couple pictures of them. Then I'm flipping the camera, taking a couple of my fat face.
Yeah.
And then I'm tempted to just start scrolling through their photos. Like, oh, let me make sure I got a good one. See if there's any incriminating
doing
photos.
How much can I see?
How many? Wow, I'm back to last year.
Yeah.
Ooh, that one's risque.
No, I like doing the thing. Okay, 3, 2, 1, click. Okay, goofy face.
Oh,
Okay.
you do the whole thing.
I do the whole thing.
I just start the moment they start lining up for the picture. I'm just clicking the whole time, and I haven't even told them I'm taking pictures yet.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and then I'm like, okay, everybody ready? All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hold it. Wait. Hold it. All right, we're good. And by time I have 20 pictures I've taken, but then they're getting ready. It's the whole progression.
No, see, I do.
What are we saving film here? You know?
Yeah, no, it's all digital. So
Yeah.
I go 3, 2, 1, click, and then I say make a goofy face, and they make a goofy face. And I say make an angry face, and I say throw up a gang sign, and that's the one. They all start laughing. That's always the best picture.
That is the best picture.
Because they're laughing and looking around, and yeah. And then they are actually throwing up gang signs, and you got to take that picture quick and
then
get out
you're
of
like,
that.
yeah.
But I'm pretty confident that my picture of this random family is the best picture that will ever be taken of that family.
Wow. Yeah.
Makes me feel good.
I don't do all of the crazy face stuff. I don't do that.
Yeah.
But I will, if I see that scenario playing out, I won't go way out of my way to make it happen. But if I'm there,
If I'm walking by it,
I'll always be like, hey,
Yeah.
you want me to, I can take a picture for you, you know?
Have you ever had anybody refuse the offer? Every time I've asked, every single time they said, yeah.
I don't think I have. I've had people offer it to me, and I always appreciate it,
Yeah.
you know?
Until
Do you
the one
feel
day
like
that,
you have to reciprocate? Like, so someone at the zoo a couple weeks ago was like, there's a lady and just her kid, and she's like, hey, I'll take a family photo, you know? And so we were like, yeah, okay, thanks. And we did. And I don't know why I felt this weird pressure to be like, you want me to take a picture of you and your kid?
With my
There's
phone.
no one else here? Like, I don't know.
Did they take you up on it?
No, I didn't actually do it.
Oh,
I just felt a pressure to do
No,
it.
I think
and I
they
thought
would-
that'd be weird.
I think that thing, that kind of weird thing, most people understand that as a conscience. So obviously you still have the remnants of one deep within you. You know what I mean? You've blown past it so many times. I understand. But obviously it's still there. So yeah, I'd follow that leading. You know,
So I should have taken a picture of the lady and her child.
I think you should have. Well, she offered to take the picture, right, of you.
Yeah.
So no, I think that's appropriate then to be like, hey, I could return the favor.
Okay,
You know,
I've got one last thing.
it's
before-
obviously important to her because that's why it's something she's
Well,
thinking about.
Savannah was there. She could have done it too. Not my problem.
But Savannah's too short to take a good picture. It's all
Good
double
point.
chin. All right, everybody.
Lots of chin shots. Yeah. Okay. I got one more thing before the Netflix. This is like a mini thing.
All right.
You've never been skydiving. have you?
MANY or MINI?
N-I-N-I.
Is mini a real word? MINI, or is that just a prefix
Miniature.
to other words?
It's miniature.
It's miniature.
Miniature.
Now you've said it so wrong that I'll never be able to say it again.
Amphitheater.
Miniature.
Miniature.
Yeah, you
That's
said.
what I said.
No, you said miniature. Miniature
Is-
miniature.
They've minied the word.
Yeah, it's ironic.
It is. Yeah. Okay, so
it is a word.
Just the word by itself.
Yes,
MINI.
mini is a word. You can play it in Scrabble.
Oh, well, that means it's a word.
Definitely.
Okay.
this might not go anywhere, but you've never been skydiving?
No.
Nobody?
And I
Isn't
never
there a
would.
weight limit for that?
Well, I just think you need 2 or 3
2 or 3.
parachutes.
Yeah, no, I've never tried
I mean,
that
I've
yet.
seen them drop an elephant, so I mean, you know.
I mean, it was on a crate, and the parachute was bigger than a house.
yeah, I watched Dumbo
Operation
Drop.
Dumbo Drop. Yeah.
You ever seen that movie, Operation Dumbo Drop?
Nope.
Danny Glover,
Nope.
Disney.
another guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No. So when you initially do it, I've never done it either. Someday I would like to.
Oh, I never would.
No, I totally would. But here's the thing: I don't want to be strapped to a dude.
No, well, that's for sure. I would.
Listen, if I'm jumping out of a plane, I'm doing it by myself.
Yes, I completely agree with that. If I was ever going to do it, I would only want to make sure I was by myself because I don't want to be strapped to somebody else. I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Not even somebody I know. I'd want to be.
I don't want to be strapped to anybody.
I just want to reenact Point Break. Is all I want to do.
You guys get up there and they start partnering you up, and you're like, hey, there's no females, there's no women that I can be strapped to. What kind of racket you guys got going on
cool,
here?
man. It's
I want to know before we go up. Okay, who am I being strapped to? Okay, nope,
Yeah.
this is not going to happen.
yeah. This is not LGBTQ month. Okay.
Wow.
Ironically,
It's like that
it
all
is,
year.
but-
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is.
Happy LGBTQIA plus month.
Yeah. I posted on my Facebook in honor of Gay Month or Pride Month or whatever it's called. What?
I don't know.
He's laughing at me.
Just the way.
In honor of
Gay
Gay
Month.
Month. Gay? All one-way streets will now go both directions.
Oh. Would that though be an honor?
It's bi, I think. It'd be a bi street.
Yeah, but isn't the whole point LGBTQ? I think
That's what the plus is.
I think normally all streets are two-way streets.
No, all one. But it's a one-way.
but
street.
a gay street would be a one-way street because they're all going the
So
same way.
No, but two ways. You don't go two ways. I only go one way.
I think we've investigated this enough. What's your
Hey, can we go back to skydiving?
yeah?
real
What's
quick?
your skydiving?
I'm not being strapped to a dude.
Oh, that's your whole thing.
Listen, if I ever, it was a mini thing.
Okay.
If I ever have the opportunity to skydive,
Yeah.
I'm doing it by myself.
I
I'm
get
not
it.
being strapped.
I'm
to
not
it.
going to do it at all because I look at many things, MANY,
Yeah.
as risk reward.
Okay.
All right. So when I feel like, okay, the reward versus the risk, to me, that doesn't level out. The reward of skydiving does not even come close to matching the risk. You know, if it goes wrong, I'm dead.
If it goes right,
Then I jumped out of a
Yeah.
plane like a million other people did. So what? Did you know you could throw a squirrel out of a plane, it would live?
Yeah, I knew that.
yeah. I heard a story like this morning about skydiving. This lady skydove, and it went terribly wrong. She got the parachute like halfway open. She still plummeted to the ground, landed, broke all of her bones, but still lived.
Yeah.
When she got to the hospital, they were like looking, and she had these red little dots all over her body. She landed on a fire ant like colony.
Oh, jeez.
But the fire ants, they all attacked her and stung her, and it elevated her adrenaline, and it kept her alive till she got to the hospital.
So
So
God
the fire
saved her
ant,
using the fire
yes, yeah, because they said almost certainly she should have died, but the fire ants helped her adrenaline.
What
cool
a
story.
crazy world we live in.
Someone goes skydiving, they fall to their death, but the fire ants save them.
Yeah. Wow. God is a mad
Hit
scientist.
the Netflix.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Just
He was
feel the
stalling.
moment.
Yeah,
You know what I
we
mean?
were
There's a
waiting.
moment.
I was reaching. I was.
All right.
Just don't dock my pay.
Netflix, watch these shows with us. Netflix, or maybe Hulu Plus. Netflix, watch these shows with us. Netflix, or maybe Hulu Plus. Or maybe Amazon Prime or something like that, like YouTuber. We don't want to put a box around what you watch, so you
All
never
right,
know.
Jason, what is your Netflix suggestion of the week?
Harrison and I started watching this about a week and a half ago. It's on Apple TV
Okay. All right.
It's a
Apple TV.
series.
It's a series.
called Servant.
That's M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong. Right. Yeah.
M. Night, yep. And I love all things M. Night.
Yeah.
Well, except for one thing. And it
Avatar.
was Avatar. The
That
Last
was the
Airbender.
worst thing ever made on
It's really bad.
anything.
Really, really bad.
I mean, not just the worst thing ever made.
It was really bad. It was really, really bad.
Awful.
Yeah. Set that aside. You know,
Okay. Everyone's allowed a stinker.
that's his oopsie.
yeah.
And take that apart. The rest of the M. Night catalog is excellent. I love
Sure.
M. Night. He's one of my favorites.
I stopped watching M. Night. I think the last M. Night movie I watched was probably Lady in the Water, and I've not seen
Okay.
any since.
Yeah, there's some really good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is called Servant. And we're on season 2. There are 3 seasons available to stream.
So it's been around for a while.
Yeah, each season's 10 episodes.
Oh.
So there's There's a good batch.
That's good. I don't like it. These shows that are like 5 episodes in a season.
Well, I
like,
think
what the
Kenobi's
heck
only
are you doing?
6. The new
I know.
Obi-Wan.
Well, that's not a TV show in the sense they're not going to make more. It's just a limited
It's a
time.
series.
It's a one-off
miniseries.
They call it a limited series or something like that.
Are you watching that?
I am.
Yeah, it's really good.
We can talk about that in a minute.
Are we caught up?
I am.
Okay, yeah, we are too.
Okay.
So anyway, Servant. I don't recognize anybody in it except for the redheaded guy from Harry Potter. What's his name? Ron.
Yeah,
Ron Weasley. The redheaded dude from Harry Potter. He's in it as an adult, and it's kind of weird.
He's not in it as a child?
No. Apparently that time has passed for him. He's
So
now
he
an
did not
adult.
stay forever young.
No. And let me just say, I mean, I don't think he's aged well.
Most child stars do not.
Yeah.
Most redheads do not.
In this case, that happens to be true. So he's the only name that is recognizable. The rest of these people are I don't know who they are.
Right.
But it's very, very well done.
Okay.
And it's about a family who has a baby. I won't give anything away, but there's some weirdness with the baby. They bring in a girl to help manage the baby situation, and things go crazy from there.
From there,
Yeah.
watch
She's
out.
the servant.
She's the servant.
I think so. Yeah. Harrison agrees. So, Servant, Apple TV.
Tacitly agrees.
And I think it's probably PG-13. I don't understand TV rankings.
TV 14.
It's probably
TVMA.
It's probably TV-14. I don't
Okay.
think there's anything crazy in it. It's been very mellow. I would say creep factor. There's a little bit of creep factor, but nothing bad. I'd be okay with any of my kids watching it.
Okay.
So,
Would you be okay with any of my kids watching it?
no. No, I don't care what your kids watch.
Yeah,
They can
right.
watch whatever they want.
Sure. Okay.
Though we definitely have different rules for our kids.
Yes.
You're more sheltered.
I have different rules. I would say I even have different rules for my kids, like individually,
Oh, yeah.
you know, because I just feel like some of them, there are different points.
No, I'm
you
with
know,
you.
So.
Yeah. Like, I let Harrison shoot a gun. I don't let Gideon shoot a gun.
I'm really at a point now with my kids where, because my youngest is going to be 14 next month.
Yeah.
So my youngest will be 14 next month. So my basic rule is, and it's changed what I watch, because I've realized my rule ought to be that if I watch it, you can watch it.
Yeah.
And if I
If it's
don't
too
want
bad
you
for
watching it,
Yeah.
then I shouldn't watch it.
Right.
So so that's my basic rule for all my kids now.
I would say, though, there is a little bit of a difference between...
Sometimes there are I don't know. Sometimes there are, I mean, I have to think about it, but yeah, sometimes there are things that are a little adult as far as not sex scenes or things like that, but just like the adult concepts that I don't necessarily think it'd be good for her to have to wrestle with or think about,
Right.
you know, that,
Right.
I mean, it is, I'm just a big fan of, with kids.
You
and
preserve innocence.
Yes, I'm a big fan of preserving and not waking things up too early.
Yeah.
I think that phase of your life is short, and it's okay that it lasts a little bit longer than other kids. You know, the part of the problem is, well, it's these things, right? So we're giving our kids these things when they're 5 years old now, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, go have fun with this for 5 hours. What are they going to find, you know?
Right.
And so that innocence is completely out of the water for not only, you know, for them, but then now for all of their friends, right? And so it's tricky nowadays. It's parenting kids. I realized at some point that I felt like I was perfectly prepared to raise children in the world that I grew up in.
Oh, and we're not in
And
that
we're
same
not in that world.
No.
So that's what's difficult, because I felt like I had all the answers.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, this is this is, you know, and I had it kind of all figured out. And all of a sudden my kids are born into a completely different world with completely different aspects that I'm just not
When
ready
you grew
for.
up in the country and there's nobody around you, you don't have cable TV.
Yeah.
It's hard to get in trouble.
Honestly, I mean, you can get in trouble in other ways, but not like that. Yeah.
It's like, we're just bored. There's nothing to
You
do.
just scan through.
Price is Right again.
Yeah.
I mean, Savannah
Parker's
and I,
Beauties, though. Am I right?
Savannah and I are decently younger than you guys. Savannah grew up in the city, and she used to wander around.
I know it's
Fair Park.
yeah.
Which is like cul-de-sac area. It's not a good one though.
Do not wander around Fair Park.
But now,
If
yeah,
anybody's
now
She's married to you. So I mean,
right now, I'm starting to figure this out.
But yet
so
now it's like
turns out that was a horrible decision.
terrible. Terrible for her family. Ended up working out pretty well for me.
For you, yeah, it worked out.
But yeah, I mean, to think about Mike, I mean, because she was
No.
doing that when she was like 8 or 9.
There's no. I wouldn't wander around.
No.
Fair Park.
I don't like my kids outside of my house on our own property. And we do have drive-by shootings, so I mean that's the main reason why.
Sure.
What's your Netflix?
Well, I did watch Uncharted, that movie with Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg. And if you were going to make your suggestion Obi-Wan Kenobi, then I was going to do Uncharted.
Okay.
But since you didn't, we can talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
So there have been 3 episodes
Yes.
so far. They're apparently dropping on Wednesdays. I thought they were going to drop on Fridays.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden...
I'm happy with the Wednesday release.
Wednesday's good.
Yeah.
And so we've watched all 3. And Jesse is just making me nervous. He's got a can, and it's not going to last. And it's just not going to... Okay. So we have watched all 3, and I like it. I like it a lot. John Williams is doing the music, so I like that.
Yeah.
I love Ewan McGregor. They're doing a good job of kind of flashing back to the prequels and giving you a good prequel feel, but yet still like pulling you into that new Star Wars Mandalorian type universe.
Yeah.
The way that it's shot and it feels, I like a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing a great job. I don't have a lot of complaints. I have a couple of minor complaints. One would be I don't like the Princess Leia running away scene. She was running away from those like adult men for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And every scene she was like running, and they were literally like 2 feet behind her.
Like running full force.
And they're adults, and she's 10 years
I
old.
pass it off as she has the Force.
Well, I know we said that. I mean, she did a little sliding move. Okay, all right, but that's not going to buy you all that time. So I was not a fan of that. I do feel like,
although that's a very much in the original 3, like an Ewok type of moment.
sure, no, yeah, it fits in the Star Wars universe.
Yes.
So it's not enough to be like
Right.
Star Wars is not realistic, and we should not pretend that it ought to be. Well, so then my other issue is, and I got to preface this, okay, by saying this. I know what this is going to sound like, but I am not opposed, okay, to a character who is a strong black woman. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to that.
Yeah.
I got no problem with that. I think that's cool. I like that.
Like a Whoopi Goldberg in Star Trek Next Generation.
Are we talking Guinan?
Guinan? Are
I
you kidding
like
me?
Guinan.
Yes.
Okay?
I don't like Whoopi Goldberg.
I don't care for Whoopi Goldberg.
No, but Guinan?
Yeah.
Come on.
Give me Guinan. Give me Sister Act. Give me
Not 1, not 2.
just 1. Sister Act 1 was, I mean, it's a piece of artwork, really. And what else was she in? Jumpin' Jack Flash.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're doing the Mount Rushmore of Whoopi Goldberg movies
Talk.
right now, and
Or The View.
The View.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I'd rather.
It went downhill for her.
Oh my goodness.
She started off on a high point. Was she in Ghost?
Yeah, let's say Ghost.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not opposed to a strong female character. I'm not opposed to a strong female black character. I'm really not.
Yeah.
But sometimes it seems like
Forced.
Yeah. And that's what I'm wondering with this.
So far, I like this chick. I don't have anything against her.
Yeah.
I do think it's a little weird. Like she third sister, I don't quite know.
Well, that's a whole thing. You'd have to watch Star Wars Rebels, which I have not watched, and that would make sense to you. Here's my thing about her. It seems like they want us to like her.
Oh, I don't know about that.
They're trying. I feel like they're humanizing her. They're not making her just straight up evil. They want to create. So here's my theory. Now, if I have two ways to think about it. All right. One is I feel like they're trying to humanize her because there's that whole scene where you see her kind of like going against the other Inquisitor guy, and you have these little moments with her where they're showing vulnerability from her.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's in those moments of vulnerability where you start to root for her almost a little bit in a kind of a weird way, and they're humanizing her. So wait a minute before you say this, because I have 2 thoughts.
Okay.
So my one thought is that she's going to turn. and she's going to be good. That this maybe she's got a spark of a conscience, because we see her thinking sometimes they're spending a lot of time on her.
Yeah.
So my thought is that the show revolves around her, and the reason that they're trying to get us to like her or to at least be invested into her is because she's going to turn and for the good. Okay,
Yeah.
So that's my first theory. My second theory is that if it is forced, and if my instinct is right about that, then they have a dilemma, because they've got this strong female black character, but they don't want to make her just straight up evil because they want her to be likable.
Oh, I gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so what they've created is this dilemma that doesn't quite work within the movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I hate the fact that they're pushing one of everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That
like, listen,
whole thing.
it's Star
Yeah.
Wars. It's a bunch of aliens.
Yeah.
It could be whatever. Paint her purple.
Yeah,
It
she can
doesn't-
have a British accent or a Chinese accent,
doesn't
or it
matter.
doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
just, yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
So I agree with you. It does feel a little forced. I will say, I think they're going to end up killing her off. That she'll have like a self-sacrifice moment where it's
For the
either
good?
Yeah. For
Okay.
either her or
Yeah.
Kenobi.
Now, if that's what happens, then okay, now I get it. Now
Yeah.
I feel like I know why they want me to be invested
like
into her.
somehow she has a choice. Either she turns in Kenobi and she's a hero, or she lays down her life and Kenobi lives.
I just love the Inquisitor that she killed. He's so cool.
Yeah.
And when she killed him, I'm like, I liked him.
we're the cool
He
guy.
was a cool bad guy.
Yeah.
Evil. I mean,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, this guy's pure evil.
Yeah.
And so even the fact that she killed him, right, makes you invested into her a little bit. So I want to see if they're trying to give her that redeeming moment. If they are, okay, then that's fine. Then it doesn't necessarily have to be forced. But I don't like that idea that the makers of this show said, we need a strong female black character, and then forced it to happen.
It is 100. I don't watch it. I've never watched any Star Wars. I never will. But it is 100%
Well, then
forced.
please give us your opinion,
It is
Jesse.
well. Listen, it's politically.
When
it
I
is
gave you this symbol,
100%. It's 100% forced.
3 minutes
Hey,
ago, I told him to
control the
press the button.
soundboard. Okay.
He's like, no, I want to talk. I want
we're
to talk.
aware.
Ending music.
Yeah.
But they preemptively, the Star Wars people preemptively like tweeted and did interviews talking about how the people that are racist talking about this actress, like, we are against you. You're not a Star Wars fan. They did that before
really?
there was any kind
This
of
has
actual
happened.
yeah.
Oh,
So
you-
it's absolutely forced.
Yeah.
I got a great thing about Arizona tea.
I have a great thing about old-timey Coke machines.
Now, is next week 100?
Next week's 100.
This is 99?
This is 99.
Okay,
This
so
is the year I graduated high school.
I was 6.
we're, next week.
I got another thing about the phrase entertaining the idea. I'll entertain the idea. What does that mean? You're going to I don't know what that means. You're going to
Take
put
it
on
out
a
to
show
dinner.
for the idea,
Yeah.
take it out to dinner? I don't know what that means.
Marinate on it.
I guess that's pretty much all of it, though. I don't really have much more than that. All right, this is Dan signing off for Jason, reminding you to always keep your stick on the ice and never wear the blue sweats.
Sit, Boo Boo, sit. Good dog.
I have spoken. You did it.
I got it.
You did it.
No way.
You said it couldn't happen.